The girl crouched in the bushes, and after seeing the result on the pregnancy test, she turned and stormed off in anger. She was actually pregnant. Thinking back to those nights fooling around with a few street thugs, she was filled with regret. But today was the first day her father officially handed over the restaurant to her, so she had to pull herself together. Just as she arrived at the entrance, those thugs showed up outside on their motorcycles. She tried to get them to leave, but not only did they refuse, they put on masks, walked right into the store, and threatened to ruin her business. Left with no choice, she immediately called the police, and only when they heard the cops were coming did they hurry off on their bikes. When she turned around, she found 5 employees standing nearby watching the whole scene unfold, which made her even more furious. She immediately laid down the law as the new boss, but no one took her seriously, especially Glenn, who had been watching with a mocking look on his face. Without hesitation, she fired her on the spot. By evening, she was alone in the store when suddenly she heard banging sounds coming from outside the window. Nervously, she walked over to check and spotted several motorcycles parked in the distance. It was that same group of thugs. She put on a brave face and used the outdoor speaker to warn them that if they dared cause any more trouble, she'd call the cops immediately. She ducked down behind the cash register, only to realize the front door was still unlocked, so she rushed over to lock it and then dialed 911. After a while, she heard sirens outside and finally breathed a sigh of relief. The police came in and carefully searched the premises but found no suspicious individuals, so they decided to stay with her for a bit. She told the officer about the young people on mopeds wearing masks who had been harassing her. For safety reasons, the officer insisted on taking her back to the station, but before she could react, the officer was suddenly attacked. Terrified, she immediately turned and ran back to the stockroom. While the attacker wasn't paying attention, she managed to run outside, only to find another person standing there. Frightened, she backed up, and as she turned around, when the person's mask fell off, she was horrified to discover that the face belonged to one of her own co-workers.
What did you do? Why are you here?